Hey guys, so last night I made a video talking about Gibson and my Les Paul and why Gibsons are my favorite guitar company. And one of my favorite YouTubers, her name is Mac Mustache. She's the one who's done my logo, and she's an amazing YouTuber. Please go check her out. I'll put a link in the description below for this video of her channel. She's also a guitar player. I don't know how long she's been playing. I don't know how much she plays, but I do know she's a guitar player. And she had commented saying Gibsons are nice, but I would do anything for a Fender. And Mac, if you're watching, don't take I'm not trying to be like this is my guitar. I'm just talking about Fender as a company and what I enjoy about them. And I just have a Fender that I can do an example about, so it's easier that way. I promise I'm not trying to be like show offy or anything. Besides, you know how bad I play guitar. So, anyway. So, if I were to sell every guitar I had, then keep one, it would be this one. That's hard for me to say because my Gibson took me so long to get and I love it and I never plan on selling it. But if I had to, and it would come down to it, I would sell this one first, or I would sell the Gibson first and keep this one, and this is why. And it's why Fender is so close to my heart. I love the sounds and feel of Gibsons, but Fender are closer to my heart. So I guess you could say Fender and Gibson are really a tie for my favorite company. And this is my Fender American Highway 1 Strat in Sunburst. Now, the reason why I love Fender is because my grandpa, who was kind of my first exposure to a real life guitar player, has a Fender American Strat. His is in this really cool gray. It's called Aztec Gray. It's like this weird, like olive green gray. It's really cool. And he, when I was a little kid, would play the crap out of that thing. He still does. He's an amazing guitar player. And he would play the crap out of it. And whenever I saw him play it, I loved it. I loved just his sound. It's actually where I get the inspiration for my tone. Actually, is big influenced from him. He's a huge blues player who can do a little. He does rock and blues, but the tone that he has is from an American Strat. Now, granted, his is an American from the '90s with standard pickups. You know, he doesn't even use his trem. He just plays it. Mine is a different model. But still, it's a lot of the similar tones. And that's what got me into Fender. That and Kurt Cobain, my favorite artist, also used Fender. Granted, he used a Fender Mustang and a Fender Jaguar, but he also had a Fender Strat. So, and other artists I like have also had Fenders. So, a lot of artists, John Lennon, Jimi Hendrix, Paul McCartney, those are also huge inspirations for me. I know everyone says Jimi Hendrix, but there's a reason for that. And when I was trying to get my Gibson, I bought this by accident. Well, not by accident, kind of out of a whim. This is a 2005 Highway 1 American Strat. One of the things I love about this guitar is the way that they do the sunburst. It's a gloss finish, but the way that this guitar is made is the gloss isn't so prevalent that it blinds your eyes. It's like a subtle gloss, and I love that. And the way that the sunburst is laid out is black, and it just fades in instead of just like color, color, color. It's just a nice subtle, and that's what I love. And it looks like this is like on fire right here. And I still have the original Fender pickups. I've done videos with those, really old ones. And I sold the original Fender bridge because I originally broke it when I first got it because I wanted to like learn how to use the bar, and I just broke the bar inside, so I couldn't do it anymore. But I've replaced the pickups and I've replaced this. And I love these. These are great. They're really affordable. like $15 for the set. I only needed this, and they work really good. They hold a tune really good. These pickups, I don't know if they still make them, but they probably still make them. These are noiseless Stevie Ray Vaughan custom pickups, and they are amazing. They have more of a brighter tone, but you can get all sorts of different things out of them. Plus, I love the black pickguard, and I decided to put. It didn't have a tone, so I just put a white one because I thought that would balance really well. And then down at the headstock, instead of the classic Fender headstock, we have the 70s Fender headstock, which a lot of people didn't like. I actually like this headstock a lot more. It reminds me of a bass, and I just think it looks cool. And I did the stupidest thing, and I don't regret it because it just adds to this guitar. One day when I was in, see, I was a fresh, I was a sophomore. I was a sophomore in high school. Just looked at my Fender and said, "Yep, I'm gonna go do that." Took the Fender outside in the garage, took a lighter, and just sat the lighter and went and burned the headstock because I love the look, the relic look of just putting cigarettes in here. I don't smoke, and I could have just rolled up actual paper and done it, but I just put the lighter there. And comparatively to my Gibson, well, my Gibson has more like wear here. This actually has a lot of wear, especially on the back, all over, some here, and they're just wear. It's just wear that you just have. It's nothing. Yeah, it diminishes from the value, but I mean, the battle scars. This guitar has a story behind it, and yes, like the Gibson, I used to smash it against the cymbals, but I only did it on the headstock, so there's actually 2 cuts right here, but the neck's fine. The quick little story behind this is I found it by accident on Craigslist, and it was a dude in Detroit. He wanted $500 for it, and I sold it to him, or I bought it from him for 460, I believe, with a hard shell case, and I still have the case. I love the case. It's really good. And he gave me a ton of picks, and it was so much fun. And ironically, when I was talking to the guy, at the time I didn't have a car or a license. My grandma had asked me, "Do you want to go with us to Detroit for a weekend? We're going to go to Detroit for the Detroit Zoo." I live about 2 hours away from Detroit, and he lived in Detroit. So it was perfect. I had the money. So I had him just meet me at the hotel we were staying at, which was this really big hotel. It was weird. And tried it out right downstairs in the lobby. I liked it a lot. I was like, okay. So I brought it home, or I bought it, and I started playing with it. And I hardly knew crap. I actually bought this because at the time I didn't have an electric guitar when I got this. I had an acoustic. Before this, I had a Ibanez Geo. It was like an or an SSH Strat style Geo. It was like a nice blue, and I sold it to get an Epiphone Les Paul, and which was a horrible idea. Took the Les Paul back and got the equivalent of money, which was like $400. It was like three to $400 because I had put money on top of the Ibanez for it, and just got this, and I've had this thing for 2 years before my Gibson, so most of my guitar playing career has actually been on this. I learned on this guitar. You know, everyone has the guitar that they learned on, and that was this guitar. I learned how to do scales. I learned everything on this. And when you think of guitar, the first thing you think of is a Fender Strat. This guitar shape is everywhere. This is the Guitar Hero controller shape. You know, these are, you know, this is the cheap Squires are based off of this. The cheap knockoffs all are based off of this. While this wasn't the first electric guitar made, that goes first solid body stand up electric guitar ever made. That goes to the Telecaster. This was its descendant. The second, the Fender Strat, came out I think 4 or 5 years after the Tele. And Fender has such an iconic sound with any of their guitars. I just love it. And okay, it's granted it's not as heavy of a sound. I can alter it if I'd like. It's not as heavy of a sound that I do for my music, but that's not to say I can't play any of it on here. I can. And I do sometimes. I've played so many shows with this guitar. And in fact, if you look at my channel's profile picture, I'm holding this guitar. It doesn't look like it because it has a different pickguard, but it's the same guitar. So this guitar means so much to me. It has been with me through everything. This is the Big Daddy, the American Fender. All Fenders are based off of this guitar, pretty much. Are looked from this guitar. All Fender Strats, all knockoff Strats are based off of the Big Daddy Strat. And she's amazing. Yeah, it's not the American Standard, which is the Big Daddy. This is the little brother of the Big Daddy. But this is like $200 cheaper than the American Standard. And I got it used. But it is made in America. And the pickups are also made in America. These are actually about $200 to $300 pair of pickups that I got for free. Because I have awesome friends. So, but if you guys want to learn guitar, you know, and you see these guitars everywhere, Fender are amazing. I recommend them immensely. Especially if you go for a blues rock tone. Heck, you could play metal and grunge on this too. Or you want that classic Fender clean sound. You can get it on here. These things are amazing. And it's a best friend that will never leave your side no matter what. That's what guitar really is. You're making a connection with friends. But Fender and Gibson are those friends that will never leave you. I hope you guys like these little guitar videos where I give you a little backstory on my guitars. I might do one of my RG120. But tell me what you think. Do you guys like Fender? Do you think they can play metal? I know they can play metal, but what do you guys think? Also, the name of this guitar is St. Jack. I totally forgot. Because I've named this so many different things, and I'm not naming it after myself. A friend of mine actually named it because my nickname was always Jack, and I always used to draw St. Jack and everything, which is a character I invented based under St. Jimmy, which is a character Green Day invented. And this was my Green Day guitar, so people were like, dude, you gotta call it St. Jack. So I always call it St. Jack. So, I hope you guys liked this video. This is Jack Punkington, signing out. Peace.